Podcast starts now. Welcome all.
Let's get right into it because I actually have a lot of things to talk about.
And thank God, I have sort of the normal stuff to talk about.
Oh, yeah. Well, I bet you're jealous of me, aren't you?
I actually am. I actually feel like we've been chatting for about 5 to 10 minutes and you've been keeping it a secret that you have a lot of stuff to talk about.
I think the thing is, I have so much stuff to talk about that I've already spilled on like 5 different topics. And I don't even care.
Wow.
I did it off mic. Welcome to StraightioLab, the podcast about straight culture. That's right. I'm being professional.
Yeah, I'm Sam.
And I'm George.
We've never introduced ourselves before.
Well, I was thinking, I don't know, now that we're trying to sell this show as, a feature film, a television series,
an amusement park,
a ride at Epcot, we have to really go all in on branding. So a couple of things. This is one of the only episodes we've ever recorded that is even a little bit timely. We are recording on a Friday and it's coming out on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Trump got not charged. Actually, literally yesterday, I was looking up the difference between charged, indicted, subpoenaed, and what's the other one? And of course, arrested, a classic.
Yeah, I don't know. Which one did he get?
Well, he was found guilty on all 34 counts in the the Stormy Daniels convicted.
That's the word. Thank
in the
you.
Stormy Daniels hush money case.
Okay, you're saying this so breaking news style.
Well,
you wanted this your whole life.
We have to talk about how both of us found out the news.
Yeah.
So I found out the news while at the gym from Matt Rogers' Instagram story. Then I texted you. You'll never believe how I found out about Trump on Matt Rogers' Instagram story. Ha ha ha. And then you texted back, wait, what happened?
Wait, what happened? In the next text, I'm on a plane.
And then I was like, oh, he was found guilty on 34 counts. And then you said,
oh, dang, I thought he died.
So Sam is probably one of the only people who was actually let down by the news because he started from a really higher. I guess when someone says that's how I found out
did you hear about Trump? Or that's how I found out. I was like, oh my God, something crazy happened.
Yeah.
Because I do feel like the legal system.
No, I know.
It's like not that juicy.
No, it's not.
And I'm sort of like, yeah, I found guilt. Like, I'm like, okay, like, what is this? It's going to be 4 more years of something. It doesn't really like excite me in the same way where like health, I was like, he got hit by a car.
Yeah. He got hit by an ice cream truck. Damn it. I would love it if Trump got hit by an ice cream truck.
Because he was listening to a podcast too loud. So he didn't hear
He was listening to the Daily and just walking being like, wrong, lies. Yeah. And then he got hit by an ice cream truck.
Yeah. That would have been so much better.
That's how my movie's going to start. Someone like a sort of a drag queen in really like grotesque drag as Trump being hit by an ice cream truck.
That would be fun. And then it's just a rom-com.
Oh my God.
2 people see it and they're traumatized.
Yeah, it's
and
a rom-com.
brings them together.
Yes. Oh my God, that's so good.
Because it's like they're torn because they're like, well, both of them were like MSNBC hardcore viewers and they were like celebrating the death of Trump, but they were also like, what have I become?
This is so genius. It's literally, who's going to play them? Who's that woman that Taylor Tomlinson loves who, I'm sorry, has no charisma whatsoever?
Wait. Oh, the one from that movie.
Yeah.
Zoe
Deutsch.
Yeah.
It's going to be Zoe Deutsch and whoever the new... Oh, and Nicholas Galitzine.
Oh.
It's literally going to be Nicholas Galitzine and Zoe Deutsch. They're going to play, I would even say MSNBC, like people that work at MSNBC.
That's a great idea.
I think they're going to be... Okay, they're going to work at MSNBC, but their job is sort of like ad operations assistant manager or something. And all they want is to be on air. All they want is to be writing the news, but they're in charge of ads. And that's like their trauma.
Uh-huh. They have a lot of trauma.
Yes. Well, working at MSNBC, for one,
is a trauma all on its own.
Damn.
Not to mention, both of their parents are divorced.
Well, needless to say, the parents are divorced and they're Trump supporters. So, of course, when they finally get engaged, the drama becomes, the parents at the wedding are going to want to do Trump-related speeches.
Yeah, about how sad they were when Trump died.
Yeah. God, this is good.
Oh, my gosh. You know what I did forget to do?
It's called Crashing into Love.
Oh.
Okay, well, that didn't really quite land the way I wanted it to.
Well, I just think it needs to be workshopped a bit.
Okay. Let's
soft serve.
Soft serve.
Well,
I really reacted to that.
MSNBC for me.
No. Soft serve is actually a great title. And I was like all in because I was like, wow, it's a double entendre. And then I realized it's not. It's just what ice cream is called. Soft serve.
It's just not that ice cream focused. I think like
Mr. Softy.
No, you guys, it's not
Wait.
about ice cream.
Do you think it's
It's
more
about love.
Okay, but it is about the crash. I'm sorry,
But
not
the
to.
crash is like the inciting incident, and I honestly.
But that's the only thing that
But
is.
George, I'm trying to play with the form, and I want the crash to happen, and that not to be what the movie's about.
So what? But then is the movie more about like the political differences between the parents and the
The
kids?
movie's about trauma.
Right.
I don't know what's not clicking.
Okay, soft trauma.
It's about. It's like I think it would almost be called like the aftermath. Like it's
Okay.
about what like they see this moment happens in the first second.
Aftermath lovers. Okay, fine.
Soft serve is good for a movie, though.
I do think so. I have to say, I'm sorry. I think soft serve. We just have to find a way to make it a double entendre. Like maybe, okay, how about this? His thing is that he's like too soft on foreign policy. And so Mr. Softy is both about the ice cream and about his politics.
Okay, so
But wait, what if it's MSNBC? Okay, wait, but this is an ad
Yeah,
person. This is not an on-air
So this is
personality.
confusing.
But he wants to, no, you're right.
But if this was an on-air personality who had like a Mr. Wonderful
Wait,
kind
yes,
of
yes,
show where he but he was called Mr. Soft.
I mean, wait, sorry, I got it. He's an on-air personality. She is an intern that like actually judges him
Power
for being a
dynamics.
neoliberal shill.
Yeah.
And she is actually sort of a leftist commie type.
Oh wow.
She tattoos, alternative
Oh my
haircut,
gosh.
bisexual.
Oh my goodness.
And she got this job at MSNBC, and every day she's like, ugh, I'm quitting. This is such bullshit. Like, I need to go work, to get back to my grassroots
okay, I
organizing.
love this actually.
And he is,
This
and
conflict.
he is like centrist neoliberal.
well,
like
it's Shakespearean. It's Romeo and
classic,
Juliet.
it's
of
classic
course.
Romeo and Juliet. She's also comes from a working class background. He went to Yale.
Her friends are like, you can't be with him. Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
And he also, his parents are Republicans. And so
His parents are divorced.
He thinks that
Divorced.
he thinks that he's rebelling by being just like sort of a Biden liberal.
Yeah.
And she's like, you're not rebelling. You know what's rebelling? Blowing up a pipeline.
Yeah.
wow, this is like. Now I'm really in.
Yeah, no, I'm sort of all in.
I'm watching.
Yeah, this is good.
Imagine Zoe Deutsch with a little blue haircut and tattoos.
The thing is, I
Keith
can't.
Olbermann.
Yeah, I
keep
can't.
saying her
She doesn't
her
have-
name, and
I was about to
cannot
look
see
her
her
up.
I'm
face.
imagining just just Caucasian skin on a face, no features.
But why do you know that Taylor Tomlinson?
Because when she
she
was
did the
on our podcast, she kept. I say this with love. I thought she was so
kept
charming. I
bringing
love
her
Taylor
up.
Tomlinson, but she kept talking about how much she stands Zoe Deutsch.
I don't know Zoe Deutsch at all. I cannot speak
Literally?
to this.
could be any woman.
Yeah, you're forgetting her face as you're googling her.
Look how.
Yeah.
Oh, so I've never seen her.
no.
But you have probably
She-
seen her
she
every
looks
day of your
like-
life.
That's
And you're
true.
She
doing
looks
it.
like the Chica, Gen Z Chica from White Lotus, but if you
Yeah.
moved around her facial features a
parts.
little bit. Anyway, should we bring in our guest?
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, never
I
apologize.
was getting
It's
excited
actually
about
sort of-
the story.
Well, we're all news anchors.
That's true.
It goes to show you how excited we are to have you on, that we didn't even yell at you for coming.
Yeah,
Normally
that's
we
sort
yell
of
at
our bit,
guests,
is we
and
yell
it's sort
at
of a huge
guests.
bit that we do.
Yeah.
Damn.
Although, we have to, even before we bring you in, apologize, because this is kind of a first time ever we are having someone back on after an aborted episode.
Yeah, we've never in our lives had technical difficulties go so bad. I mean, we've released some real technical clunkers.
Good.
But when you came on last week,
It got so bad.
we literally had to start and stop, I would say approximately 5 times. And then mid intro, we're like, this is
Not working.
This is not working.
And I felt like weirdly, I felt it was my fault.
No.
Like somehow my
it's very
fault.
interesting because you were the only one whose fault it wasn't.
I know, and I was thinking about that today. Where I go, why did I really? I
you've
really
been
got nervous.
You know, it's crazy when you were like, it's my fault right now. I was like, trying to reflect, and I was like, yeah, no, it was your fault.
'Cause I'm trying
it's
to.
very you.
I'm trying to magical think my way into being it my fault.
I know it. I felt I was I mean, I was in LA and I was in a studio we'd never been in, and the guy running the studio felt so bad.
It
and
was no one's
kept
fault.
being like,
Yeah.
I don't. And then he's like, sometimes the Wi-Fi is bad when it's cloudy, and I was like, this town.
What?
Well, it's also like, wait a minute. If
It's
sometimes
too
the
thick outside.
Sometimes the Wi-Fi is bad when it's cloudy.
I was like, LA really is such a weird place.
But
And that was like fact.
Yeah.
That's really funny. Well, it's also, I mean, LA, first of all, it's about to be like underwater. There's an earthquake that's going to come and destroy everything. And on top of all that, there's no Wi-Fi when it's cloudy. I mean,
Unbelievable.
what can you do other than red carpet events?
Yeah.
Walk your dog.
You can walk your dog.
I mean,
Yeah.
really
not
peaceful.
for long.
Yeah.
That's true. Really peaceful dog walks, though.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what okay. Oh, do we have to do one?
One.
Okay. Being back in New York thing.
Oh, what?
I'm in New
Can
York.
I give
wait,
some context?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So over the last, I would say 3 weeks, Sam has been in New York. When were you last in New
No,
York?
I wasn't here since our last live show in March.
Okay, so then never mind. I was in Los Angeles last
this week we saw each other twice.
Yes, this week we saw each other twice. I was in Los Angeles as of, 2 days ago I got back. I was in Los Angeles. We did an amazing live show with Chris Fleming and Aparna and Jared Goldstein. And then I flew back to New York, and then you flew to New York a day after, and now we are both together in New York, and we are recording in studio with Clare O'Kane.
Oh, Ben, please give it up for Claire.
And please give it up for Clare O'Kane. Woo!
You know what? Okay, one subtle thing.
Yes.
I'm making a list.
Wait, also, Claire, you are officially in the conversation. I know we're acting as though we're talking.
No, I know,
not-
and I'm engaging.
No, I know,
in my
but
own
I
way.
do think our like body language and affect is like, shut up, we're talking.
You're right.
I feel like I'm on a job interview at a,
Yeah.
I know.
like for an ad
yeah.
agency.
Yeah, no, it does kind of feel like
Yeah. Oh my
that.
God, are you the main character? Wait, you literally have.
I mean, you were like
bisexual.
I didn't want to say
I did not
it,
even
but
think-
that's
I was
You
like,
are the main
George,
character.
you
so
can't.
Deutsch. you.
Okay, this is so Hollywood that you are in the room, and yet I'm like, I'm thinking a Zoe Deutsch
Deutsch
type.
And I'm like,
You're literally here. You're auditioning. You're absolutely crushing the audition. Like, she's a comedian. She has a special album or special album out called.
Everything I Know How to Do.
That is a perfect title.
It's true.
Some would say a mouthful.
You know, the Squirrel Cookbook. Have you ever been a squirrel in Los Angeles?
Oh, SQRL.
SQRL.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's called, and I'm not going to fact check this, I'm pretty sure it's called Everything I Know How to Cook.
No way.
I literally am 99% sure that's the
So
title.
was
I
yours
gotta
an
change
homage?
it.
Was yours an
No,
homage
I
to the
gotta
Squirrel
change the title.
Cookbook?
I know you're
I
squirrel's
hate
biggest
that
fan.
lady.
You guys should like
I hate
release
that
those together. Maybe do a joint event. Comedy show with Squirrel.
Comedy show.
Comedy Show Squirrel. Check out the Comedy Show Squirrel.
CMDEY.
Yes, exactly.
at
No
SQRL.
vowels.
Wow.
Sam, have you been to
Unbelievable.
Squirrel?
I went to Squirrel, and for anyone that doesn't know, Squirrel had this controversy in the pandemic.
Yes.
Moldy Jam?
Moldy
They
jam.
had there
Guess
were
what?
photos of all their moldy jam.
Pot jam last time I was there was delicious. Go on.
I went.
You ate it
Yeah,
after?
bitch.
I mean, the way that Squirrel,
Unbelievable.
nevertheless, she persisted.
It's
Squirrel
so
is
good.
popping off and is good.
It's so good. It's truly like, it represents to me the hope of the American West. Like, I'm like,
Wow.
so, when I'm there, I am so happy. I'm like, everyone thinks they can do bowls. Only Squirrel can do bowls well.
Whoa.
Wow. I also like there's something it's sort of like our version of like anti-cancel culture to be
Totally.
like this like bougie stupid restaurant they found mold and
This
people
is
tried to
good.
bring them down. Yeah. And we're like, I actually think they should be allowed to make their jams. I don't care there's mold because what they do is they sell overpriced stuff and it tastes good. It
Yeah.
makes me feel fancy.
They do bowls good.
There was this viral video of this woman doing like, she was in a man on the street interview type thing, and they were like asking her to rank singers, and they said Selena Gomez, and she was like, I love Selena Gomez because after everything she's been through, she's still singing. And that's how I feel about Squirrel. After everything they've been through, they're still making jam, baby.
That's true. I had a New York thing that I wanted to say.
please.
Okay, a New York thing that does not happen. I didn't realize I was lacking it. People here, when you're walking down the street, you can get a little up and down. You can get
yeah.
up and down, left and right.
And you're privy to your up and down.
In an erotic way?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
like complete
and that
strangers.
doesn't happen. Well, in Los Angeles, no one has ever had
Well,
sex.
you can't look people up and down when they're in their damn car.
Yeah.
And so here, and also when you see people, they're like, you see them, you know them. You're like, I'm meeting you for lunch. So you can't give them an up and down. Here, you're passing strangers left and right. And so everyone's doing a little, oh, in a way that I'm like, finally,
Sure.
Yeah.
some raw sexuality.
Okay, I have another theory related to that. Do you think the reason why plastic surgery is so big in LA is because at any given time you're seeing someone from a larger distance and through a car windshield? So it's sort of like people wearing stage makeup on
Of
the
course.
stage. They literally they have to accentuate their features.
You have to play to the back.
Whereas in New York, it's sort of more close up in a quiet film.
Yeah.
Sure.
You know,
That
it's
makes
the
sense to me.
monologue.
It's a close up.
Yes.
Yeah.
New York is sometimes a 2-shot.
Oh, wow.
Claire, if you were to move to Los Angeles, what would you get done?
Let's start with the body and we'll move to the brain.
Well, brain, needless to say, removal, full removal.
Full removal.
I have often thought, and almost recently, I was really on the edge of getting a liposuction of my double chin.
Real? Oh, well,
Yeah.
chin, I have to say,
That's
chin
tough.
is one area where I'm like,
Well,
if
like,
that was easy, I would do it in a heartbeat.
well, I'm like, is it hard? That one seems really easy. Just
It's just, it's
Just
easy.
get
is
rid
it
of
easy?
They go.
That should be covered wholesale by insurance.
That's
Of
what
course. We're performers. We're crying out loud.
we're crying out loud.
Chin is also,
For
I
Pete's
think,
sake.
my dad has told me that he wants to do that. Like, it is actually one of the
Even
few things
dads
that's
are doing it.
acceptable for straight men to openly be like, yeah, my chin's sagging.
I know a couple of guys who got Kybella, and they're doing all right.
Yeah,
But I like this. I probably don't even have it today. But my
Does your
Comes and
chin
goes.
I haven't
change
had
day
any
to day?
salt yet today.
Oh.
But my I have a Waddles run in my family, and
Waddles?
I had an old Auntie Martha who would always pose like this.
Oh my God.
Oh,
that's
wow.
so
Pictures
funny.
to kind of lift it.
Yeah.
And so I'm just kind of, I know it's genetic. I'm also trying to not be perceived at all at the
Totally,
same time.
totally.
Sure.
Or care about my body.
Yes.
But it would be interesting.
You
I
know,
wonder what this would do.
yeah. You always want to not care, and then you're like, well, I do care, though.
Well, now I'm in LA. I should
Well,
care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might have said this already. Once I got the meanest response to an Instagram story ever. What was it? Where I was like it was when I was stuck in Chile and I was like posting all those pictures with the Paris wall.
Sam was stuck in Chile because of COVID.
I remember. I remember.
And I like just posted a random picture and somebody was like, have you heard of not mewing, but like one of those things where you like do like jaw exercises to try to make your
Yep.
like this not so prevalent? And I
Oh
was
my
like,
God.
oh, I was so upset. It actually created a complex, and like I had never thought about it before, and then I was like, oh, I guess you're right. I guess
Yeah.
like
no.
that is kind of that could use some work.
These things are never from within. They're not generated. We're getting it from the outside.
Yeah.
I got one of the. I went out. I didn't go out, but I paid about $40 for one of those things you put in your mouth, and you go like to sort of square up your jaw.
Wow.
And then I looked up after the fact. I go, is this actually okay to do? And then it's like 99% of dentists say do not use this. It
Oh,
will
no.
erode your teeth and make you have baby teeth again.
I'm always suspicious of the percentage of dentists that say anything. They're getting paid.
Oh, you don't trust
Okay.
dentists?
I
Good
think
on
No,
the
actually,
trust.
I love this.
I think what Claire is saying, I think when dentists tell you not to do something, I sort of trust it. When they tell you to do something, when it's
Floss.
like recommended by 99, like Colgate brand is recommended by 99% of dentists, I'm like, okay, show me their tax returns where they paid by Colgate. I don't think dentists are like in a room doing side-by-side comparisons and picking Colgate
Yeah, no
over
way.
Crest.
I'm going to go ahead and go further. I don't trust him in general.
Well, that's a whole yeah.
One time I went to a dentist and he was like, okay, like I was like 18 at the time maybe.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, you have 22 cavities. And I was like, wait, what? And then I went to a different dentist and he was like, you're totally fine.
Yeah.
And I was like, so what's going on here?
Unnecessary procedures
Yeah.
for the moolah.
Yeah. One of my most truly like
They're like vets.
Greek grandmother opinions is that I essentially don't trust the American medical system at all.
Yeah.
And I literally to this day, when I go back to Greece to visit my family, that's when I see doctors. And Greece is like a less rich country. Like it's
Yeah,
not, that's
yeah.
not where people normally go to like see a good doctor. But I'm literally like, no, they know the family.
Yeah. They're telling the truth.
They're telling the truth
Yeah.
over there.
Yeah.
And you can slip them a 20 and then they'll give you a discount.
I think honestly though, if a dentist told me I didn't have a double chin, then I'd be fine.
Totally.
Then I'd be like, okay.
They should do doctors should just give you doctor approved compliments where you can just go to a medical doctor and you can sign something being like, you are the perfect size, height, and weight for Hollywood.
Yeah.
I mean, that.
And I'm signing off
for Hollywood or for construction or
specifically for Hollywood.
Yeah, and then you can go and give it to the head of NBC and you're like, look, I have a doctor, so you have to cast me in this pilot.
I mean, that is the best part of going to a doctor. Like when I was in my medical era, which I'm firmly out of for the
Wow.
record.
Really good.
Yeah. They kept being like, oh, and you're so healthy and young otherwise. And I was like,
yeah.
totally. That did give me a big confidence boost.
Mm.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I have been in and out of the hospital for 6 months straight.
Yeah, you're
so
like,
I don't know
I'm-
how healthy I can be, but
Like I have a catheter in as we speak.
we got a review recently that was like,
no, don't wait.
I
have
have
I seen
to.
this?
You have seen it.
Okay.
It was like, oh God. It was like something, and the other one is in the hospital. It was like,
Well, it is sort of your identity was being in the
The other
hospital for a
one.
good 2 months.
yeah, I was in the hospital for a bit, in and out,
But
you
it
know?
happens.
And you got to
Crazy.
talk about it. Imagine not
also
talking about it.
Another thing where you're just like, you don't really expect to have to be in the hospital for 2 months.
Yeah.
And then it happens and you're like, oh,
Yeah, you're like, wait, what the
I
fuck?
guess I have to live my life to its fullest or whatever.
Yeah, I guess that's the other thing. I was like walking here today and I was like, God, people are looking me up and down. I'm looking them up and down. And guess what? I haven't been in the hospital in over a month.
Damn. Should we do our first segment?
Yeah, I think
God,
that's
I'm
a
already
good
having
idea.
so much fun.
Whoa.
Okay, Claire, our first segment is called Straight Shooters. And in this segment, we're going to ask you a series of rapid fire questions to gauge your familiarity with and complicity in straight culture. It's basically this thing or this other thing. And the only rule is you can't ask any follow up questions or we'll scream at you like we should have done in the intro.
That's right. We have it all pent up, so watch out.
We're scream edging. Okay, George, kick us off.
Ooh. Claire. Marjorie Taylor Greene or majorly spilling tea?
Majorly spilling tea.
Okay, Claire. The knights who say knee or the polites who say please?
The polites who say please.
Claire. Happy birthday, Mr. President, or Happy Earth Day. Cheers to our residents.
Happy birthday, Mr. President.
Oh, wow. Okay, a crisis of masculinity or I don't know, sis. He seems pretty gay to me.
I don't know, sis. Seems pretty gay to me.
So, crisis rhymes with I don't know,
sis.
Got it.
I don't know,
Okay.
I don't know, sis.
Okay, Claire. I'm starting a Substack or she's charting with that track?
I'm starting a Substack.
Young Sheldon or young lean?
Young Sheldon.
Launching a pride collection, gawking at a divine erection, or voting in a free and fair election?
Oh,
Voting in a free and fair election.
okay. Weaponizing therapy speak or watching Get Him to the Greek?
Oh.
Watching Get Him to the Greek.
Oh my God. You know, Get Him to the Greek stars Russell Brand, Jonah Hill, and P. Diddy.
Wow.
Woo!
Hold
I
him up.
recently saw a little, I guess you would call it a meme,
Oh,
that was sort of implying, that, look at this film, it did not age well.
Is there anything
And I
else
said,
like that? I
I'll hit,
wonder?
what?
I'm sure.
Another film like that? There's got to be a Kevin Spacey.
I mean, there certainly
Louis
are
CK.
films produced by Harvey Weinstein starring Kevin Spacey, American
Definitely.
Beauty.
Definitely.
Yeah, we need to find the most
Or like
poorly
directed
aged
by
cast
Bryan
of all time.
Singer.
Yeah.
Ooh, oh,
Produced by Harvey Weinstein, directed by Bryan Singer, starring Kevin Spacey. Well, I do know for a fact that one of the Superman movies, Kevin Spacey plays Lex Luthor, and it's directed by Bryan Singer.
Okay.
So
there-
that's two out of the
we're
three.
getting close.
With a Matt Lauer cameo,
With a
that
Matt
would
Lauer
really top it
cameo.
off. Or Charlie
Wow.
Rose.
Oh, God.
Oh wow.
Oh, God.
Remember when Condoleezza Rice was on 30 Rock?
No.
Oh, yeah.
Blurg.
Talk about
about
Blurg. That was Blurg gold, mama. That's going to get a 1 Blurg from me.
2 blurgs way up.
Wait, can we briefly address the Young Sheldon controversy?
What's the Young Sheldon controversy?
Well, it's been
Well,
cut completely from the unreleased tapes from when you first started doing the episode.
Oh, right. I forgot about that.
We don't have to get into it too much, but my big
Yeah.
Let's
reveal,
mention it.
my big story that I had with me
That
in
you were
the
going to
intro
break before Trump took the front page.
Yes.
Yeah.
was that I was at a play as a musical, in fact, Outsiders the musical, and I have to shout them out because, of course, they gave us free tickets because they were fans of the podcast.
Us, I don't remember getting tickets to that.
They know you're LA based.
It's just kind of funny.
George just put his feet up on your chair.
I said he's not really a co-host.
You know, I'm more of an executive producer role.
They were
He's
like,
always
"Do you
in the
want 2
hospital."
tickets?" I said, "One will do." And while I was there, I had a huge celebrity sighting, which is that I saw young Sheldon.
Right.
And on top of that, it was the night of the young Sheldon finale, meaning he did not even have the respect
Right.
for CBS to stay at home and watch the finale, potentially live tweet it or live post it on Instagram. He was too busy taking photos with tween girls at Outsiders the musical.
And you said that he had sort of a Harry Styles style fandom where people were frenzied a
Like
bit.
security
Yeah,
guards.
I've really, 2 things shocked me. First of all, just the level of the fandom. I mean, it was like there was a like glowing orb, you know, in row D.
Yeah.
Everyone's eyes, all eyes were on young Sheldon. Tween girls like could not focus on the musical. They were lining up, and I'm not exaggerating. Like during intermission, they were fully lining up to take photos with him, and then someone had to be like, the play is starting. Like everyone needs to get back to their seats. The ushers were like yelling at tween girls. And then the second thing that really struck me was how professional he was being and how good he was being at giving everyone exactly 2.5 seconds. Like he knew exactly what face to make for the selfies. And that really made me sad that he has to have that level of professionalism, and he has been raised to have that level of professionalism and charisma and charm and whatever as a young tween boy.
Is he still technically young, or
Yes, he's probably like 14, I would say.
did he? Is that why they canceled?
Yeah, you're
it?
not
Is
allowed
he
to
got-
have a crush on him, Claire.
I know, not for that. I'm just making sure that the title still makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's why, of course, the show ended.
Yeah, of course.
He grew up.
He grew up. I was actually, someone on the plane on my way back from Los Angeles was watching Big Little Lies season 1, and I forgot he was
Well,
he
a
was
star
one of the-
making performance.
Reese Witherspoon's kid.
I forgot.
No,
about
he
that
was.
show.
Wasn't he?
Nicole's?
Who's the
Amabella?
Secret Life of an American Teenager?
Oh, you're so right.
It's her kid.
Yeah. No. Shailene Woodley.
Yeah.
There we go.
There we go. That's who it is.
What an interesting woman, Shailene.
Yeah.
That's for another podcast.
No, that's a good new segment though. What an
She's sort
interesting
of
woman.
but she is sort of a classic like Burning Man type, doesn't believe in medicine, like sort of
Yeah.
on the anti-vax spectrum, dated Aaron.
hip
Which is, and
style.
it is a spectrum.
And it is
Thank
a
you for saying
spectrum.
that.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Totally.
And sort of horseshoe theory, so on one side.
Where are you guys on the anti-vax spectrum?
I would say I'm firmly pro-vax at this stage of my life.
So you're like a vax 6.
Oh.
Is it out of because of the Kinsey scale?
Yeah.
Yes, I would say I'm a vax 6.
Where on the Kinsey scale are you on vax?
You know, I'm a vax 6 in terms of the information we have right now.
Right.
Yeah.
What if some random doctor came out and started peddling vaccines for something I didn't believe in?
Well, I really hate taking Advil, so I think I'm a vax 5.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Like-
I also am not all in on
You know what I mean?
medication. Like I if I don't need to take medication, I won't.
Yeah.
We've established you don't trust.
I don't
Yeah,
trust
so I
the
think that's
medical
vax 5.
Okay, I'm vax 5.
I think I'm vax 5 as well.
I think that's a healthy place.
That's
I
a
think
really healthy place to
history,
be.
I mean, I think exactly
information.
If you're vax 6, that means like in the olden times you'd be like hospitalizing women for hysteria
Yeah.
and sending
Totally.
them to American Horror Story Asylum, and that is not me, and that is not my experience. I actually believe women.
Yes.
So we get into the topic.
Yeah, let's get into the topic. Claire, what is your topic today?
Today, my topic is maybe the most relevant thing I could think of, which is presidents,
Love
U.S.
it.
style.
U.S. style.
U.S.
Yeah.
style.
Yeah. Don't get it twisted.
When I was a kid and I first heard about Mount Rushmore, there was a second where I was like, wait, is that natural?
I mean, it took me a while to figure out what was going on there.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I'm
For
still
sure.
like, I have to say, still to this day, I'm like, it is crazy that someone made that. How was that allowed? That is so insane. It's one of the most insane things anyone has made.
It is completely insane.
It is giving like someone in, Minnesota doing a butter statue of Spirit Stallion of the Cimarron.
But a mountain?
But a mountain and it's 4 presidents?
Was it sanctioned?
Or was it?
I think it's the type of thing that people will write in about. I don't remember the history.
Just write in. But I feel like it was just some guy.
There is something about it where I'm like, it is so brazen that I do want to go at some point. Like, you kind of have to see it in person to believe it.
I'm almost like, we actually as a society need to collapse because that will be so fun to find. Like,
Planet of the Apes style?
Exactly. Like, that's one of those things where you're like, what were these people like? Like,
I know. It also, I will say, living in the times that we do where everything seems so apocalyptic.
Apocalypto.
It does. Do you remember in Drag Race, one of the queens at some point, there was a challenge to do something apocalyptic and she kept saying apocalyptic. Anyway, I think it's nice because that does seem like something some Trump supporter would do now, like carve Trump into a mountain. And it's kind of nice to be like, oh, there was someone back then who was brain dead enough to make a mountain of 4 presidents.
I am also like, again, we do not know the history, which is so iconic. I don't know what year it happened.
Really? I actually couldn't even tell you which presidents.
I couldn't tell you which presidents.
1998, and it was Clinton, Bush Sr., Reagan, and Jimmy Carter.
Well, I also do think it has like a bad history where it was like, and maybe this is like Twitter, it's like native
something about sacred.
I was about to say
sacred
native land.
That like
yes,
that's implied.
But yeah, but I think it was like an active like, this is important, so we're gonna ruin it. Like, I think it was bad.
And ruin it with literally 4. God damn it! 4 statues of big-headed white men.
Huh. What is this? The late night comedy circuit?
Woo! So true.
What is the lineup at the comedy store? Woo! Woo!
I was like gonna do a riff that was like completely not on game. Like, I was about to be like, what is this? My high school teachers?
Damn, drag them to hell.
My 4 high school teachers.
4 high school teachers.
So, Claire, tell us what about presidents is straight to you?
I should have thought this through. The general appearance, sort of lack of, and not all presidents, but sort of lack of
all presidents.
Empathy, the need for ultimate power.
Yes. Yeah.
The ultimate authority figure.
Ultimate authority figure. Daddy. A little bit of daddy. A little bit of proving yourself to your daddy. A lot of them have daddy things.
Yes, that is the major reason
and that's
anyone
a big
would
straight
want to
guy
be
That's
president.
such a great point. I haven't even thought about that.
Name a president who doesn't have daddy issues. You can't.
You can't find one. It is like, if they had been gay, they would just go have like dangerous sex lives.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, instead of like Star Wars or whatever.
Starting Wars is sort of the being promiscuous of straight men.
Starting Wars is the not wearing a condom, bareback.
Well, I do in fact
Cruising.
think
Cruising.
violence is like promiscuity for straight men. That's like, it's like
for
how
real.
if you're in a
But
But sometimes it's mixed.
yeah,
That's true.
Claire.
Sorry.
She can say it.
She can say it, but it's true. Okay, so daddy.
Also,
authority
dog. They
figure.
always have dogs.
Yeah, they always have dogs.
Big dogs.
They also have to have a nuclear family.
Mm-hmm.
You can't be a bachelor and be president.
You
Well,
have
they
to have one
exist.
daughter.
There was
Bachelors?
there was one.
You can't name him. I rest
He
my
didn't last
case.
very long. Yeah.
Nope, Buchanan. That's not a real president. Next. Yeah, more like Buchanan. No.
I feel like I should be looking at a list of presidents.
No,
right
we
now.
can't.
I
We're not going
know,
to start doing
I
research
know.
for this podcast now. We've
On
gone
air.
4 years without ever knowing a single fact about history or America.
I do think in general, though, the nuclear family thing is the weirdest part. Like,
Yes.
this is what I've never understood about president in the election in general, where it's like, yes, there's like policy, but that's like 1/10 of the race.
Yeah.
It is sort of like reality show vibes. It's the
Yes.
original reality show.
Well, going back to Trump. I mean,
duh.
I do think, in terms of the nuclear family thing, by the way, I think something that people have not grappled with is one of the reasons why many Americans relate to Trump on a personal level is because he has this like big blended family, like many people do.
Yeah.
And it sort of sucks that the right had claim over that when it could have been like a sort of queer, like sort of like very like lefty Portland, Seattle blended family.
Yeah, Pete,
Like,
open
it
up
kind
that
of
relationship.
It sucks that like that the first president to have a blended family was a Republican.
Are we talking blended because we have the brother
Kids from
who's-
different no, just like
kids from different
mothers, multiple divorces, like yeah, that right? Isn't that
I
what
thought you were
it was?
talking about like one ugly kid, one hot
Oh
kid.
no. Yeah, separately it's
That's
a very
my version of blended.
that is
You're like, what a diverse, beautiful family.
diverse, beautiful
weird
family.
looking one
weird looking one really tall one,
really tall
one that he doesn't
one
like.
married to a Jewish guy.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
God, where's Whitney?
Who's Whitney?
Which
Whitney
one's
Trump.
Whitney? There's
She's
a
the one that he
Whitney?
I've
hates.
never heard of Whitney Trump.
You have heard of Whitney Trump.
Is she like
I've never heard of Whitney Trump in my
short
life.
and
Okay, you guys are gaslighting me, Boots.
No.
You've never heard of Whitney Trump?
Whitney Trump?
She's Trump's daughter.
I
I
know
don't-
Ivanka.
No, Ivanka is his favorite. This is insane.
Whitney?
Everyone at home is literally taking off their headphones and marching to the White House.
Well, she's blonde. Probably.
She is
Let me
blonde, yes.
Google- I'm going to Google
Whitney-
Yeah, we have
Whitney
to
Trump.
Google.
I have to Google
Ivanka
at
is
that
his
point.
favorite and the
Absolutely.
one he loves, and then Whitney is like the. And I'm not
Wait,
saying
she's not. Who's the one that did the like LGBTs for Trump?
Whitney.
I thought her name was something else.
Wait, is Whitney LGBT?
No, but she hosted a really
She's
funny.
just like sort of sorority girl vibes who has like
Wait,
one
are
gay
you
friend.
sure?
Sam.
I don't think her name's Whitney.
Whitney.
Sam. I'm gonna actually start yelling at both of you.
George, you're making up
both
girls.
Both of my guests right now in my podcast that I host are looking up Whitney Trump.
Wait, there are no pictures of her.
Yeah, I don't think her name's
like
Whitney.
literally, her name is not Whitney.
Trump daughters. Okay, I'm googling Trump daughters.
Whitney Trump selected as North Central Missouri. That can't.
Tiffany.
Tiffany, you're right.
Oh my god!
Wait,
Son
this is
of
so
a
funny.
bitch.
I truly thought it was Whitney.
You were ready to attack us.
That is
Whitney
so funny.
Trump?
Wow, I've never been so wrong in my life. Okay, but
Whoa.
Tiffany.
Tiffany Trump looks like she'd have one of those YouTube channels where she tries food from different like mall restaurants.
Yeah.
Wow, I
yeah.
cannot believe I had that
Whitney.
brain fart, as the kids say.
Whitney.
I mean, I've known Tiffany Trump my whole life.
I
Yeah.
mean, it happens sometimes.
It really does.
That's okay.
I wonder
Whitney
who I'm
Trump.
thinking of that is named Whitney, that is a blonde woman that no one likes.
Whitney.
They should make a Whitney Trump.
She's not blonde.
Yeah. Whitney.
Oh, Whitney Cummings.
I mean, I love that you're inventing new Trumps.
Damn, I'm really embarrassed. But you know what? I'm going to own it. I'm going to say
Oh, we're not
sometime-
cutting that.
We're not cutting it. And I want to apologize to everyone for attempting to gaslight you into thinking there is a Whitney Trump.
Yeah.
I want to apologize to Tiffany Trump, who is the real Trump daughter no one likes. And I say, thank you for doing all that you do. Thank you for being an LGBT ally for LGBT men who are clinically brain dead. And, I think Whitney is a beautiful name for a baby girl.
Totally.
I have a new idea for president
Mm-hmm.
that is even more relatable than Trump. Trump's blended family.
Yeah.
I think it would really speak to our generation if the next president was like, "Hey, like I'm subletting my house. Like,
I'm looking for somebody to
like I'll be like I'm in DC for a few years.
4 years tops.
4 years tops, and then we'll see. It could be longer term.
Oh my God. Wait, that's so funny. Wait, okay.
I like that a
I
lot.
think that would be good. And also, if you can take care of the cats, like I can give you a discount.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, because
no.
needless to say, I'm not allowed to bring cats
I
in the
can't
White
bring
House.
the
I have to have dogs.
Has there been a president with cats?
Again, I've already flopped once today. I am not attempting to guess if there's been a president with cats.
Nixon feels like he would have cat, but I think he actually just had like a brown dog.
Brown dog is sort of cat.
Yeah.
Brown dog is so cat coded. Okay, so wait, I do want to. I recently I've been like into the idea of like really actually doing the thing our podcast promises to do and actually talking about straight culture.
Okay,
Don't you think?
I'm
'Cause
trying.
like,
Yeah.
and
it
so
seems like
that's
you
why
guys
I
are
keep-
trying
that-
really hard.
no, that's why I keep bringing it back. So I don't want everyone to be anyone to be mad at me that I'm not yes ending. But I'm like back to why presidents are straight.
Hmm.
The
the way they sound.
the way they sound. There is a way of It's like what if we apply a business mindset to public service?
Yeah. Yeah. I am, the older I get also, and I'm just like, what is the point of a president? Like,
Right. Exactly.
Especially if we have everybody else doing other stuff.
yeah.
Well, it's the CEO.
He's basically the CEO.
CEO.
Overpaid, overexposed, but all of the workers are doing the actual work.
He's the face of the operation.
He's the face of the operation.
I also think he
Yeah.
exists as like sort of the true Mrs. America.
Yes.
Like he's like, so that other people, when they think of America, they're like, who's America? And they're like, oh, it's that guy.
That is very true.
Wow.
And I think the pageantry to it, much like many of our straight topics, it almost circles back into being queer because he is literally, as you're saying, his job is to give speeches and to look fabulous
Yeah.
and to go around being like, America is a land of contrasts.
I also think one of the straighter things too is when they like go to Idaho or wherever
Totally.
and are like, wow, I love corn.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's like, bitch, you don't eat corn.
Bitch, you don't love corn.
There's no way you eat corn.
You do not love corn this much.
You do not love corn this much. You're not like ordering a beer at the local pub,
No.
and you're not eating like the signature hot dog that has like broken up pretzels in it.
And that's like to me, that's like an essential straight thing where it's like, if a gay guy were to go to Idaho,
100%.
I don't actually really like corn.
Totally.
It's like really cool that you guys do this.
I love that you love corn.
and you're doing so much for our country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
There's something very basic. Like every town they go to, they have to try the number one thing.
Yeah.
If you're gay, you go and you like post on close friends, like any recommendations, and then potentially go to like a cute little wine bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know where you know where any president has never been? A wine bar. They're gonna go
Yeah.
to the big pub.
Yeah. Yeah.
is there a Michelin star restaurant in Idaho?
I'm sure there is.
Look it up. Look it up. Post it in the comments.
Also, in order to state the obvious, they're all men so far.
Yeah.
So there we go.
So far, and hopefully,
And
from now
hopefully
on.
forever. Let's fingers crossed. Certainly don't
That
see
is
any
just like a little bit funny. Like there is something where it's like, this is a bit LOL. Like
that it's all men.
It's huge, LOL.
It is huge.
It's crazy.
LOL.
I was just thinking this morning, like, wow, our country compared to other countries sucks.
it's so weird.
And I was just
it
thinking
is-
that
it is
today.
this like basic thing where like every country, and I was about to say, which is my own bias, is about to be like every Western country, which is literally every country, like
yeah.
many countries, West, East, North, South, have had women leaders.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Many of those women leaders have even been like terrible and worse than the male leaders
Of
and
course,
been
horrific.
fascistic.
and it's
But at
also-
least they were given a chance.
Yes.
well, yeah, it's not even about like it's not even about the like I think a woman would like have amazing politics inherently.
No.
But I am just like, but what are the odds?
I legitimately separated from politics wholeheartedly. Like not that I would be happy if we had a Republican woman president, but it would at least be a sign of more equality generally
But
in the
truly,
country.
people, men and women, don't just don't trust women,
Yes, it's
at
Right.
all.
yeah.
especially in America.
Especially in America. And it's like, how do we kind of. I mean, I guess I'm coming from sort of a comedian
Mhm.
lens where I'm like, I can tell that when the moment I get on stage, certain people are tuning out
Yes.
almost
Mm.
immediately. And I
Yes.
have to be like, well, I have to let them know exactly who I am and what I'm all about immediately. Whereas a guy can go up and be like, yeah, I just jerked off and I'm here. Or you know what I mean?
totally.
Everybody's like, wow.
Okay, here's a question. Do you think it's more difficult for women in politics in America because America has such a strong entertainment industry, unlike other countries, that the images of women that are exported are so Hollywood-like? It's
Mhm.
so thin, blonde, perfect woman that then, in comparison, when they see a normal woman running for office, people get stressed. Whereas in other countries, there's more representation of normal women day to day.
Well, I'm loving this.
Don't you think?
I'm
So
loving
you're
this
saying if a
theory.
hot woman ran for president,
Well, I'll tell you
more
one thing.
likely.
Or fix Hollywood.
Fix-
Then
Maybe
And then,
so. Maybe
chicken or
fix-
the egg.
I sort of think Okay, here's a question. Do you think it's more likely that a pornographically hot woman be president, or that we first fix Hollywood and then a normal woman be
I
president?
think porno.
Porno?
Big
Yeah.
time. Big time.
Yeah.
Okay.
100%. Because it's like, that's absolutely going to be, that doesn't sound out of the question.
No.
Here's what it could be. It like Angelina Jolie.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I think that is a stretch, obviously, because I think she's...
Okay, she'd have to be like, if she was that far left, she'd actually have to be really hot, and so I think the balance
Yeah.
is there.
She'd have to make her lips even bigger to be
Yeah.
president.
What, like, okay, celeb women
Yeah.
president.
Yeah.
Do you think, okay,
Ellen.
Reese Witherspoon.
Oh, yeah,
I think she could run.
yeah. Zoe Deutsch.
Zoe Deutsch would be great.
Honestly, Taylor Tomlinson. could
Taylor
go
Tomlinson
and
would be
figure it out.
great.
She tours the Midwest.
I do actually think, and this goes back to stand-up comedy,
Mm-hmm.
a lesbian who is so for straight men desexualized will always do better in a stand-up comedy environment than a straight woman who is visibly attempting to be attractive in any way.
Yeah, 100%.
Don't you think? I mean, there is a rich history of extremely... I mean, Wanda Sykes, Ellen, Paula Poundstone. Like, there are just so many very successful lesbian comedians who are all very funny, by the way. I'm not saying they got where they are unfairly because of their lesbianism.
When I first started doing stand-up, my dad was just like, just don't be gay like all those other ones. But that was like the thing where it's like, if you're a stand-up comic and you're a woman, you're gay.
Yes, 100%.
Because those are the ones who rise to the
Yeah.
top because they're taken more seriously because they're wearing a suit.
That's what's tough about... I mean, because of systemic misogyny, you do have to be in some way masculine if you are a woman in office or a woman in public, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Hillary Clinton is like, you have to do pantsuit, you have to do natural makeup, like you're not going to be high femme.
Yeah.
You can't be over-sexualized.
You can't be over-sexualized. So then that creates this problem where damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah.
I mean, if Hillary Clinton or Elizabeth Warren showed up high femme, huge wig, eyebrows, on top of their forehead, people would say, who's this joke? I'm not voting for her.
Mm.
But then if they showed up pantsuit, no makeup, people would say, who's that dumpy bitch? I'm voting for Trump.
And it's hard. It could be like an Alicia
hard.
Keys situation where she's, you're beautiful, but you're not
beautiful
wearing
woman, no
makeup.
makeup. Beautiful woman, no makeup.
Let's get Alicia Keys in there, I think.
Well, okay.
But it's so obvious that that's what's going on, but
Yes.
everyone wants to pretend that it's
Exactly.
something more complex. And it's
Yes.
like, no, we're just inclined or been told to, what's the word? What is that word? When you're like, it's like ingrained
Yeah.
in you because of society or whatever the fuck.
Socialized.
So, yeah.
Yeah, we are socialized to not... Is it to not trust women or to like...
To only see
almost
them
like
in certain...
ignore them?
To ignore the idea of them in other, contexts.
In non-maternal roles.
In non-maternal roles. Or to only take them seriously if they're being like maternal or man-like.
Yes.
To only pay attention if they're hot enough.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of there's no in between.
And then when they are hot enough, you're paying attention but not taking them seriously because you're like, that's just a bimbo.
Yeah. It takes extra work to take someone seriously. Like
Yeah.
that.
And to go back to presidents, then when you have a male president, his wife becomes first lady. It's like every single
Yeah.
time we elect a president, we are perpetuating the concept of first lady.
Lady.
First lady. Yeah.
You might as well call her America's arm candy.
Oh, and I mean, that is like, it's so funny to have like, Democrats and Republicans when it's like, that is just like, to have your first lady is like the most Republican idea ever.
Yeah.
And the fact that everyone has to do it, and it's like, she better like hosting Christmas.
You better
Yeah.
work.
First of all, she better celebrate Christmas.
Yeah.
Second of all, she better be kind of hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, like slightly.
Slightly hot.
This is me congratulating our new president. Congratulations, sir. And then I turn to his wife, and you better work.
Sashay away.
Yeah.
I just feel like I can't think. You know what's cool about being a first lady though is that people don't really care about what you do
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can
Really,
just
or
like
even what you
promote
look like.
literacy, and no
Yeah.
one's gonna check the numbers.
or healthy food.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you can literally be like, I promoted literacy, and people are like, do you have the data? You're like, how dare you? Wait, I want to say one more thing about the military thing, because I do think that's a big part of being president. Like, you are commander in chief. It's basically like you are all your other roles being in charge of, I don't know, like caring about healthcare or caring about public holidays or caring about taxes. All of that is secondary to the fact that your job is to start and continue wars. And I do think that is very straight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Like,
also to
it's
not
like-
have to think
It's very
about
like
it that
this
much.
Barbie's job is war.
Straight up.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to have military experience to be the
Well,
president.
I mean, and say that. Not that I would trust someone with military experience more, to be clear.
Sure, but
but
it's like you don't know what's going on at all.
yes.
And you are truly like the director of the movie where it's like, just tell me what looks good and we can go ahead
Yes.
and do it.
It's really like being the CEO of a weapons manufacturing company. And of course, your job is also managing HR and company events and, you know, sort of negotiating people's salaries and whatever else. Yes, that's part of your job as CEO, but what's your main job? Manufacturing weapons.
Yeah.
That's what it's like being president.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. I mean, I think that's genius. I'm I'm reflecting.
I'm reflecting.
Yeah. I also think like there's something about how the job is like it's everything and nothing. Like
Everything and nothing always haunts me.
I think the the CEO comparison I think is really apt
Thank you.
because it's like that type of person where you're like you're not actually doing anything, but you are busy. Like
Totally.
Yeah. But also now I'm thinking back to the way presidents look, where no president has ever been like overtly masculine in the way America sees masculine.
Oh,
Like-
that's interesting.
like open, like
That's interesting.
no
yeah.
one has had like a Kumail body. No one's
Yeah.
had like.
Well, there is something so vulnerable. Here's the thing. It's this paradox. On the one hand, you have to present as masculine. If they ask you what your favorite food is as a president, you have to say steak or burger.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if someone said branzino? A
You'd
whole
run out of town.
branzino,
crusted.
crusted,
Mm.
herb crusted branzino. Next question. You might as well. Oh, my favorite thing to wear, skirt. Okay, so you can't. So you have to be masculine, but on the other hand, the nature of the job is that you have to win people over. And is there anything more vulnerable than basically going door to door, begging people to write your name on a little piece of paper?
Wait, basically,
It's like The Bachelor.
being a president is like being a girl in high school.
Essentially.
Yes, it's literally like being a girl in high school.
You're trying
There's
to get
nothing-
everybody to like you.
Mhm.
And it helps if you're rich.
It helps if you're rich. You're okay with like kind of changing who you are
Yeah.
temporarily.
The thing, okay.
You have to be just palatable enough.
Yeah.
This is, I'm like, this Branzino thing,
Mhm.
I think is so smart. And I'm like trying to, like, one thing I've genuinely never understood about presidents and the whole race is I'm like,
Yeah.
is like when they like are running and they're like changing themselves and being like, I
course.
would never say Branzino, I would never. I'm like, why, like, what would happen if you were just like the quirky one? Like, can't you be the quirky one?
Has
Can't
anyone
you
ever
own it?
tried?
Well, in fact, yes. And his name is Barack Obama. I actually think Barack Obama is a great example of that. Purely aesthetically, by the way, I don't think his policies were
Of
quirky.
course, of course.
But he went just far enough to be the different girl. Like, I'll give you an example, actually, because I was looking this up the other day for something unrelated. But I was looking up for something unrelated that I'm working on, the president's favorite foods. And I found this article that was like, they asked President Obama what food he likes to cook at home, and he said chili. That is so alt.
That's alt.
Like, everyone else would say steak, they would say burger,
hot dog.
hot
Okay,
dog.
to me, chili is actually burger hot dog.
You think so?
Really?
If he said
It's
like,
so gloopy.
It's essentially a soup.
It's like saying I'm
You might
flaccid
as well be
currently.
sucking cock.
I honestly think saying like spaghetti is alt.
Oh, see, to me,
Oh.
spaghetti is like family style Italian. Like you're like,
'Cause
oh,
it's
you know,
not
I come from a big Italian Catholic family, Catholic like the Kennedys, Catholic. I'm Catholic.
Chili
And-
is still American.
Oh, that's
You know?
true. That's true. All American. But I don't know. At some point, if you're eating, vegetable based protein, you're a little faggy.
Say that.
I just think like I crave a president. I crave the end of the movie and the president, like the assistant, the campaign manager is like, okay, you remember your script. You have to say hot dog. You have to say like you love corn. You have to say, and he's like. He's looking in the mirror before going out and he's like, fuck, like, I just want to be me. I just want to be me. I just want to be president. You're on. And he goes, I love blueberry muffins.
Wait, this is literally the ending of our rom-com
Yeah.
where the MSNBC co-host goes out and is like, you know what? Fuck this.
I think that would be such a treat. And I really think, like, isn't there something, honestly, if Trump has taught us anything, it's like live out loud, be yourself, and, the rest will follow.
Well, it's tough, I think, because I actually think that's the wrong lesson to take from, not to call you out.
Please.
I think the issue with Trump is you can live out loud if you are a fascist.
Big
Like, I think that's what it's
Oh.
like. It has to, the fascism has to be so all encompassing that then under that you can literally have like multiple wives. You can have like your dick out at a press conference. You can be like wearing a tie that goes down to your knees. Like, but it has to be, the first layer has to be full on
It has to be
fascism.
ideological.
Yes.
It's not just
You can't be
surface.
like, I think it would be way more hard because otherwise you're Dennis Kucinich and no one's going to take you seriously.
Oh, he's cute.
Well, of
though.
course. Yeah, he's cute, Claire.
know.
Cute didn't get anyone the presidency.
I guess like Bill Clinton was a little alt when he played saxophone. That's like his
that's
Yeah,
true.
that was his
That's
alt
true.
moment.
That's true.
But he still ate so many hamburgers that his heart hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Now
And he got a
still
had to
paying
make
for
up
it.
for the saxophone by eating so many hamburgers that he almost died.
Now he's vegan because of it.
Do you think there will be a gay president or a vegetarian president first?
So
Gay.
I
You
would
think
say
gay first before a vegetarian?
Yeah. I think it would be
Wow.
a huge disqualifier if someone's vegetarian.
Our friend Olivia Craighead has this question she likes to ask at parties, which is, will there be a gay president or an Italian president first? And I do think that's actually an interesting
Has
question.
there not been an Italian president?
No.
I would get.
Buchanan? No.
No,
I'm like trying to go through the
Yeah. It's
No.
me, George Bush. No.
I'm like, I think gay.
Really?
Yeah.
People like Italian people in America.
That's what you
They
think.
do.
I'm telling you, the average American
That's
is.
what you think.
I just think Italian. I mean, how Italian are they? Like if they're Italian, like and from like Staten Island.
Yeah.
Do you think Andrew Cuomo could be president?
If he
I think he
hadn't done
could
all
have been
that
before.
shit, yeah, totally.
But before all of that, do you think Andrew Cuomo has a better chance or, Pete Buttigieg?
I think Cuomo.
Cuomo.
Because there's a
Remember
masculinity.
Giuliani was in the running? Oh
yeah,
yeah.
I think there's a masculinity that people
There's a mask.
like think
Okay,
is cool.
But here's the
That is a
thing.
mask.
The thing with Giuliani and Cuomo and all these people is we keep being like, oh, before all that stuff. Name an
Yeah.
name
Plus
an
you think
Italian
Italians are
name an
inherently-
Italian name an Italian politician where you don't say oh before all that stuff. Footage not found.
It's New York politicians, George.
Yeah,
it's not
different.
Italians. That's so messed up.
Yeah, I guess I'm
This
being
is
a
some
little.
sort of Greek bias that I don't understand.
I mean, to be clear, we'll never have a Greek president either, and that's on Dukakis.
That's on Duke. I can't wait for just a little change up in what's going on.
Yeah, no, I
in
agree.
presidents'
I know.
lives.
yeah.
And unfortunately, it's not happening anytime soon.
Let's queer the presidency. Let's do all that. But also, let's just not have a president. Can we do something else? Can we have another option?
I literally don't get it at this point. I used to really feel like I got it.
Yeah,
But yeah,
just-
it is sort of like, what are we doing?
I have to say, I would say I reached a point at some point in the last 6 years where I thought I understood the country, and I was like, wow, I've all my life I've listened, and now I finally learned.
Yeah.
And the way that I've backtracked completely, and I'm like, I don't understand anything. I might as well have been born yesterday. The way I don't understand
Totally.
how anything works, how anyone is thinking. When I look at public polling, I say I am literally like a, three-legged monster who is completely different from everyone
Yeah,
else.
totally.
Yeah. It is confusing.
But, we
What's
all
the
want
lesson?
daddy.
We all want daddy.
Oh, and daddy, we gotta be in a war at all given times. Women are not to be trusted
Unless they're wearing a suit
unless they're wearing a suit
and
or,
are kind of hot.
And
or they're in the middle of intercourse that is procreative.
Yeah.
And
No fish for the
No
president.
fish.
no
for the president.
fish.
I do actually think it would. I think fish is literally the worst thing you can say. I think I would. Okay, here's the question: will there be a vegetarian president first or a pescatarian president first? I literally think vegetarian is more masculine than eating fish.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, I don't even think we could have a gluten-free president.
No,
Like,
No.
But you could hide that pretty well, though. You don't have to talk.
I don't
about
even
that.
think you could have like a peanut allergy president.
No,
to be
I mean that's the weakest of all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he couldn't campaign. Half the damn towns he would have to go to are peanut towns. What's he going to say? I love peanuts. And then they test him.
It's
Yeah.
crazy how many towns are peanut towns.
It's so true. Peanuts
Yeah.
is the number one export in this country.
Wow.
My uncle lives in a peanut town.
Oh, wow.
I bet.
And we go and we eat peanuts.
Wow, who does he vote for? Nope.
He votes
RFK.
Democrat.
Okay, great.
But everyone else in town does not. I will say that. Kind of scary, actually. But I love that peanut town.
Well, it's a beautiful world out there.
Yeah.
And the most important thing is to get out there and have fun this election season.
seriously,
That's
you guys, live it
true.
up because they happen every 4 years, and you might get hit by an ice cream truck before the next one.
Mm.
Yeah. And the best, yeah. But then maybe you'll meet your one true love and the trauma will bring you closer together.
Yeah. Or
Yes.
your death will
Or your
cause
death
two
will
people
cause two people
to fall in love.
to fall in love.
That's what I hope.
I hope you're in the DSA and that you meet a guy who has a lot of money
Yeah.
and that you have to figure it out.
Yeah. That sounds really nice. Should we do our final segment?
Yes.
Okay, Claire, our final segment is called Shoutouts, and in this segment, we pay homage to the grand straight tradition of the radio shoutout and shout out anything that we enjoy, sort of radio shoutout style. Imagine it's 2001 and you're at TRL shouting out to your squad back home about anything you're enjoying. So much has been brought up in this convo that I was like, I wonder if something from there is something to shout out. But then I was also like, maybe there's something that happened yesterday while on the airplane.
I have an airplane one.
Oh, will you go first?
What's up, and welcome back to George's Cinema Corner. That's right. For the I don't know how many week in a row, I'm shouting out a film, a feature film, and I'll say it, a foreign film. On my plane ride back from Los Angeles, I pressed play on the German film The Teacher's Lounge. I repeat, The Teacher's Lounge. I believe it was submitted as Germany's entry for Best Foreign Language Film Oscar this year, and I'm getting a nod from cinephile Clare O'Kane. I will say this film really had me at the edge of my damn coach seat on United Airlines. It is a thriller, basically, it's sort of, I would say it's almost like has a tone of a political thriller, but it's based in like an elementary / high school, and it is about a teacher whose heart is in the right place, but who keeps making the wrong decisions and is so incompetent and absolutely fucks everything up despite being so slay in theory. And I would say the ending didn't quite pull it all together for me, but I say go out there and watch it. Go out there and support independent German cinema. I don't know where it's streaming, but honestly, probably Mubi or some shit. So go out there and watch The Teacher's Lounge. Great film. Watch it on a plane. Perfect plane movie. It's only like 90 minutes long. And you know what? Cinema's alive and well, no matter what the podcast The Town will tell you.
Wow, nice.
Yeah.
A shout out and a little dig.
Do you have one?
I can do one. It's
Plane
not
related?
ideal. I love to say that before I do it. It's not ideal. What is up, freaks, losers, and perverts? I want to give a huge shout out to door busting at Chipotle. I got there at a cool 11:15 a.m. this morning for my Chipotle, and I said, I'm so hungry. I can't wait to eat a full burrito bowl at 11:15 a.m.
Wow.
And I justified it by being like, well, I was up pretty early. I woke up at 8, so I was like, this is lunch now. And I did, I was one of 3 people in there, and in Manhattan, that is hard to do. And I felt unique. I felt alternative. I felt like, you know what? Society's rules don't really apply to me, and I can sort of do whatever I want. And it was a beautiful time to reflect in the city of Manhattan over my beautiful, delicious bowl. I don't eat Chipotle in LA because I feel like I shouldn't, but here all bets are off, and shout out to Chipotle at 11:15 a.m. Oh wow, I got they're paying me off.
Not I don't eat Chipotle in LA.
Honestly,
I don't.
Chipotle feels better here, and I really can't
Chipotle is a New York-based bistro.
Yeah,
I haven't had Chipotle in months.
Chipotle is a New York-based taqueria.
Yeah.
Okay, Claire, whenever you're ready.
Okay, hey, what the fuckers? What the fuck, Nicks? I'm here to shout out loving your body the way it is. Yes, I recently in this episode complained about having a double chin, and I did end up paying a deposit to actually get a consultation to get lipoed.
Wow.
But you know what? I said, why don't I just learn to love my body? So for the past couple of weeks, whenever I'm feeling down about my body, in my head I go, you're beautiful, you have a great body, you should be happy that you're healthy, you're beautiful. And it's actually worked really well for me.
Wow.
And it puts me in a good headspace because we are, as humans, inclined to think negatively, and it does take that little extra effort to think positively about yourself and the people around you. I've also noticed that the worse I feel about myself, the worse I feel about other people, and that ain't slay.
True.
In this time. And I want to shout that out. Loving your body, saying I love my body when you feel like you might not. And but if anybody wants to give me like $5,000 to actually maybe explore getting double chin liposuction, that'd be interesting. If anything, I'll get that cool sculpt on my lower abdomen.
Oh no, but that like ruined. Didn't you hear about Linda Evangelista?
No,
She's suing.
She's suing Cool Sculpt.
I take that back. I will use that money for good. And shout
donate
out.
it. Donate it.
Woo.
Wow. Well, Claire, once again, what is your album called, and where can people listen to it?
My album is called Everything I Know How to Do, not to be confused with the Squirrel Cookbook. Everything I Know How to
Everything
Cook.
I Know How to Do.
Everything I Know How to Do, because it includes a song. It does include a recipe, actually.
Oh.
And a sketch.
Oh.
And it's on Apple Music, Spotify, all the things. Probably not Tidal.
Not Tidal.
Not that I know
Oh,
of.
that feels pointed.
I'm just going through and now realizing.
If you're a Tidal user, you're shit out of luck.
I do hope it. I really hope it's on Tidal.
Let's get it. Please write in, and we'll get it on Tidal.
Let's get it on Tidal.
Let's get it on Tidal.
And it's on Bandcamp, obviously.
Oh, slay.
Oh, get it there.
Get it there. All right.
Well, thanks so much for doing this. It
Thanks
was so
for having
fun.
me.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.